I saw Serenity, guys. I recently saw Serenity. I haven't planned to watch this movie, but I've been hearing things about this movie. And my curiosity got me, and I had to watch it. Despite that, I'm just a guy who mostly go into fantasy films, animated films, action films, you know, kind of like the most blockbuster things, because I kind of like drama, thrillers are kind of not my forte. But sometimes I go to see what is it all about. But never in my life, at least for this year, never expected to see a movie like Serenity. Right in the middle, right in January. We're in January, and boy, that this movie just this month gave me lots and lots of surprises. Could it be kind of like a twist, a terrible twist, a weird movie things that goes on? But Serenity, oh man, this one takes the cake. I gotta say, you guys, this one takes the cake. You know what? Go watch it. Let me tell you this. If you're gonna sit here to watch this vlog of me talking about Serenity, I have to tell you things that are gonna spoil the movie. But you're gonna think, is it good? Is it bad? I can't say. Go watch it for yourself. But personally, I really like this film. I really like this film because, wow, it's not every day that you're gonna see a movie like that. Man. Okay, I'll give you at least the spoiler-free premise. This movie stars Matthew McConaughey, who, how can I say? Matthew McConaughey is there. He is a fisherman in an island in the middle of nowhere. He tries to catch this tuna fish. He gives fishing tour rides to drunk people. He's kind of broke. He prostitutes himself with another woman who he helps try to find her cat. What was the woman with Deanne Lane? That was the name of the woman. He goes drunk. He just acts the freaking McConaughey-ish you could ever see in any Matthew McConaughey film you're gonna see. But anyway, he just kind of like this fisherman with strong build-up because he fought in Iraq. I think he was a veteran. Until one day, Anne Hathaway appears, who plays as apparently someone who was part of his life, and she's like, "Dude, man, you're right. I got my husband who is played by Jason Clarke. He's an abusive guy who treats me very badly, and also to your son, he is abusing him. He beats me up and all this stuff. So I'm gonna pay you a lot of money so you can come up you can meet this guy, take him to a fishing trip, and then drop him into the sharks." So technically she's asking him to kill Jason Clarke. And that's all you need to know, at least, of what this movie is about. And for the most part of the movie, it plays out a little bit kind of like these typical corny thriller movies, and honestly not a bad one. You're gonna see a little bit of some cinematographic editing choices that are kind of a little bit out of nowhere, or they don't fit in a scenario that kind of looks like this. I don't know how could I explain it. It kind of looked like a Puerto Rican beach or something like that, or the typical sea scenario that you're gonna find in these kind of movies. And it plays well, even though, again, it has some weird cinematographic choices. Like, for example, when Anne Hathaway appears, there is this camera shot that it revolves around her face and kind of like 360 degrees to watch her back to her head and then her front. When she comes out, there's this flare on her ring that it's kind of very flashy. you see Jason Clarke, who he just comes out dressed up like he's one of those really rich guys from Miami Vice who plays the villain. But one of the weirdest ones is when Matthew McConaughey gets naked. Oh yeah, you're gonna see Matthew McConaughey naked, and he says, "I'm going for a shower," but he just jumps into the sea, and he's just there, butt naked. And I think for 3 or 2 minutes, and he just gets a vision of probably his kid underwater, also naked. Oh, and by the way, his penis, I think they digitally remove it, or they put a shadow over there because it's forbidden to see penises in the movies unless you're in one of those other kind of movie theaters. But basically, that's all I can say about this, about probably the setting about this movie. Because trust me, this is just the beginning. So yeah, technically this movie kind of plays out like things that you're usually gonna see in these kind of thriller movies, and it still keeps you guessing, thinking that probably what she says is not true or something like that. Because I mean, look at Anne Hathaway, how she appears. She really kind of looked like the typical femme fatale that you usually see. But then you kind of realize that, yeah, Jason Clarke is really technically a bad guy. Kind of exaggerated one, but trust me that probably in this world you're gonna know that they really assist these kind of guys. Who are legitimately evil, I'll say, or very because let me tell you, trying to reason domestic abuse is both a very touchy subject, but let's say that I have a relative who worked who was a social worker, and you're gonna see a lot of horror stories about domestic abuse and all this stuff, and you kind of wonder how evil these kind of people are. But okay, that's not the point that I'm going through there. But bear with me that this is something that comes out in this movie, because almost during the whole movie, you're gonna see a little bit of visions. Let's see that sometimes the movie switches between the point of view of Matthew McConaughey. And also we get to see his son, who because of all this domestic abuse, he's secluded in his house, and he just play kind of a video game. And even though they say that, yeah, this kid is brilliant and all this stuff, but unfortunately he is abused by his stepfather, Jason Clarke and all this stuff. And at this point, I wish I could say stop talking about this movie. Because, man, just go watch this movie, and when you're done, you can come back here and then hear me out, because I'm gonna talk about it right now. So, go. There. Did you watch her film? And for the people who've seen this film or doesn't care about spoilers, here goes. Here is the big reveal that happens halfway through the movie. And I didn't see it coming because I haven't seen it I didn't put it on my head that it was going to happen. I thought that this film is gonna show that probably the Anne Hathaway was actually the evil one. Because, people always fall for the femme fatale and all this stuff. And it's gonna be like the typical thriller or something like that. And they're gonna show that she is the abusive one. I thought it was gonna go to that route. I was kind of way hitting the mark on this one. But here's what really happened. Almost during the whole kind of like first half of the movie, Matthew McConaughey is being followed by this wormy guy who really kind of looked like the Texas guy from that Robin Williams Popeyes movie, and he never catches him. He's always a stickler to the rules and all this stuff until finally, with all the dilemma that Matthew McConaughey has with people trying to say, hey, are you gonna do it? I don't think you're gonna do it. I don't know. I all this stuff. He shows up at 2:30 a.m. He gets him drunk and all that stuff. And at first it was I thought that he was gonna talk about his son or something like that, but no, he was just there to sell him a technological radar so he can catch that fish. Yeah, because Matthew McConaughey is kind of obsessed on catching a big giant tuna fish. And then he reveals it. He say, I can't tell you, but you gotta play by the rules and all this stuff, because this is because you must not break the rules. Someone is breaking the rules. And I was like, and then it hit me. It hit me, and considering the cinematographic, how the cinematography handled this thing, I began to fit 2 plus 2. Don't tell me. Here goes. Let me tell you this. Here goes. This whole island is actually a video game created by this kid, and everything is technically the kid, the world the kid has created to cope up with this all these things, and that little by little he's using the video game to plan out the murder of his real stepfather, who is abusive to his mother. This movie pulls out a Danganronpa 2 if you haven't played this game. So, Plymouth Island is technically Jabberwock Island. I was like, and then this movie kind of derails. How did it came from a thriller to a symbolic film? And honestly, the movie kind of tries to take itself seriously. And in ways I did take this movie a little bit seriously, because granted, when you try to make these kind of movies, there's a little bit of seriousness that you can have. Maybe not everyone will take it seriously, and it comes up a little bit unintentionally funny. And I should have seen it coming. And especially when people begin to act out like, dude, you must not kill the guy. You must not kill the guy. And then Matthew McConaughey began to put all the pieces together on trying to find out what the frick is going on here. And then he just kind of began to realize that everyone around him is trying to persuade him to concentrate on catching that fish and not kill the guy. Oh yeah, one little side note is that I absolutely love it that every time he's on the car, you're gonna hear on the radio this really sultry guy saying that, hey, I'm glad you woke up in the morning. You're gonna have a great day, and then you're gonna catch that fish. Oh man, that was the most sultry radio announcer I have heard, and that was, I gotta say, awesome. And it kind of hits me a little bit to know that where this is taking place. I don't know because if you kind of notice, he always drives the car who has the steering wheel on the left. On the right side of the I think yes, on the right side, it's in the opposite direction of the Americans. I don't know if it's a film in Britain or Japan. I don't know, but that's just a little bit of a stray observation. But yeah, the whole movie kind of topsy-turvy into kind of like a psychological thriller that I was like, what the frick is going on? Everything begins to act like it jumps out from film noir to another movie. What? And now I'll go with super spoilers because it bears talking about the kind of like the ending of the movie where I tried to be a little bit snobbish and try to put the pieces together of what this movie was trying to say. So like I said, this whole world was technically kind of like a video game world in which this kid technically created an MMO, his own MMORPG, but involves fishing. And Jason Clarke, he's been persuaded by kind of like the community saying that don't do it, don't kill him, kind of like subtly, and he's like, everybody knows that I want to kill the guy, but nobody's gonna admit it, because apparently because the video game character doesn't want to disappear if the kid go through the plan. You see even the kid kind of admiring and kind of this army knife once in a while, and the wormy guy with a suit and everything, he's kind of like the representation of the rules, and when you think about it, he's probably not just exactly the rules of the game, but the rules of society. Because society always says that you must not kill, no matter how evil that guy is, you must never kill. And technically, finally Matthew McConaughey said, okay, that's enough, I'm gonna do it. And then things begin to drop on him in ways to stop him. Like for example, Jason Clarke, he gets a broken arm, he gets drunk, but still Anne Hathaway persuades him to go to your fishing trip, and Matthew McConaughey, he's kind of being stopped by other people, and when they go to the fishing trip, this dude appears out of nowhere, like, hey, how's it going? I just came in like a stowaway, so because I really wanted to do this. Hey, did we kill this guy? No. Y'all continue with the plan. Continue with the plan. So we jump between Matthew McConaughey and the kid trying to carry out the plan. The kid almost had enough with the yellings of the father and the father beating the mother, and then he went through it. He goes through it. The kid kills the father, and we just see that they carry out the plan in which it involves that they catch up this big fish that let's say that they got the fishing rod in the jacket, to have a firm grip, and then Jason Clarke, whoo, he just gets tossed off overboard, being dragged out by the fish. A little bit Moby Dickian, I will say. Oh, and then it is kind of put the pieces together to reveal that Matthew McConaughey was actually the avatar of the video game that is based on the kid's real life father who died on the war and all this stuff. And the kid carried out killing his father. He now assumes the consequences of the life and all this stuff. Although it's kind of a little bit of a fresh air in which it's saying that the kid was actually defending the mother and all this stuff, so his sentence is not going to be 100% harsh, but still, murder is still a murder. If you want to hear out a little bit of my cynical opinion, I was kind of happy for the kid to go through with it, because when you think about the rules of society, it usually says that you must not kill anyone no matter how evil they are, but considering how that the rules of society also protect these kind of people who you feel like they don't deserve to live or something like that, it comes to a moment in which psychologically someone is emotionally said, I had enough, and they decide to face the consequences, and it leads to something something that, well, not many people are very happy to do it. And well, continuing on, the world of Matthew McConaughey disappears, and this, and then it turns into another one, and let's say that it kind of turns into this video game symbolism, or anime-esque symbolism of an avatar world, just being destroyed in itself and then reconstructed, or something like that. But still, even after the movie ends, you were still wondering, oh, what the weird is going on, and what the hell I did watch. So let's say that it did end a little bit happily for, well, the kid, almost as bittersweet as it sounds, and a little bit of a hopeful message for Matthew McConaughey, in which, despite everything, you can be reconstructed. You know what? Don't take me seriously. This is probably my initial thoughts. I might be wrong. Maybe I'm overthinking about symbolism or something like that. But I still guarantee you that no matter what conclusion you come to Serenity, this is technically what you're gonna come out of this movie saying, what the frick did I just watch? And let me tell you, the trailers doesn't announce that. Not even the movie poster tells you that it's gonna be that insane. It just shows you that sometimes you can't go through with it every time. And I think I said before that sometimes I do love when there's a mix of genres. You don't have to be consistently a genre to be, sci-fi, and then turns it to a fantasy all of the sudden. As long as the pieces are well done, well put together, and kind of makes you think. This makes it at least a good movie, at least on my eyes. Is it a bad film? Well, not exactly. I can't say that it's a bad movie. It's a movie that is kind of out of this place, and it's rare to see something like that, and I'm glad that I saw it. I really, really like this film. And it's January. Maybe I'll find some other movie that I'm gonna love much better than this one. But I applaud for kind of like the ballsiness that this movie has. Well, I want to stop right now. I could spend hours, I could spend minutes talking about this movie. If you watch this movie with many people, it's good to at least turn it into a session. Just like I'm doing right now. I had to vlog this thing right after watching this film. And trust me, people, that this movie it's just a big catch. It's a big catch that you're not gonna regret it. So do me a favor, people. Go catch that fish.